Good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good
Yo,
evening,
it's good.
good evening, good
Good
evening.
evening.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome,
Evening.
welcome,
Good.
welcome, 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 welcome. Another week of the report. Good evening, good evening. Um, can't get right. How you doing? I know you're on your way to work. How you doing this evening?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. What's going on with you? Everything good with you?
Yes, 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 yes. So far, good week. Nobody ain't dead yet. So far, I ain't sick. It's gone. But good. Yeah. No, hold on.
No, that's right.
No, what was good?
Oh, not much at all. Not good at all. So, pretty good.
No
All
haircut, no
right.
good.
I know.
Let's
Man,
go. Let's
yo,
go.
look, listen. It's been a long time I've been having this little hat on my head, and I'm finally glad to have a week so I could be on a show and have it taken off. All right, so let's get right to it, okay? Because we're not going to be yes if I ask the wrong name. Because we'll talk about the first thing. So the first time, the Final Four, we had four number one seeds since the 2008. We had four number one seeds in the Final Four. Houston, Auburn, Florida, and Duke. Um, Auburn and Florida had a hell of a battle for their fourth installment. Um, it was a hell of a fight. No surprise there. Florida was down. Evidently, that is no surprise there because for the most part of this tournament, Florida has been down in deficit and they found a way to get back and win games. This
Right.
one was
Right.
no different. They went ahead and beat Auburn. They moved on.
Right.
Houston went against Duke. As much as I am a very pissed off die-hard Duke fan, you could shut the fuck up. No, I'm sorry. I'm trying not to cuss. I'm sorry. Um, Duke went ahead, and I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. I'm gonna speak truth to the American public because that's what we do on the report. The Duke Blue Devils collapsed. They literally collapsed in the second half after being down. Um, Houston found a way. They got back into the game, and not only that, they closed the game. Cooper Flag had a shot. Cooper Flag had a shot to win it. Uh, three didn't go. Getting overtime. Houston, big upset, moved on, faced Florida. Which brings to last night. I must say, that was a hell of a war last night between them two dogs. Eh? Two
Mm-hmm.
dogs, two dogs went to war. They shut down Walter Clayton for most of the game, but for some reason, Walter Clayton finds a way to just get back in the game and be a playmaker instead. That's how he ended up getting 7 assists in the first half. Had a big three. Um, Houston had four. They had last four possessions. They turned the ball over 4 times. Um, and all in all, there you have it. The team that is now that was the number one seed, the number one team for pretty much the whole year, is the right team that is standing on the mountaintop of the college wall as national champions. So, being that I brought all of that there, here is the question I will start off with this college. And I'll give it to Can't Get Right first. Can't Get Right. Do you see this Final Four or college football or college or March Madness being like this going forward with number one seed being in the Final Four?
It was. I mean, I say this. To have. I mean, the four most talked about team. Florida wasn't really talked about in the beginning of the season. If people know, when they did the odds to win the national championship, that's number one. But like you said about Walter Clayton, the reason why Walter Clayton they shut him down in the beginning and towards like the second half. That man always finds a way to make big buckets, and the reason why that is because he had other playmakers on that team, Will Richard and Thomas Todd. Them guys helped him out. He started passing the ball. He got them involved. So now Houston gotta get to them guys. So when you get to them guys, guess what's gonna happen? You could run a motion play and get a shooter to knock down some shots, even get some and ones. But I will say this: it was a great Final Four. Big ups to all four teams in there. Big ups to all four teams in there, even Duke.
Thank you for your respect. Thank you for your respect.
But I want to say this. Bruce Pearl. I ain't gonna lie. Even though I said Florida was gonna take the chip, I rather have saw Calvin Sampson get one. He's a great coach, and he took a couple of teams to the Final Four in his coaching legacy. I wanted to see him get one, but it didn't happen. But as far as his coach in Houston, he's good. And Auburn is gonna be good as well.
Okay, so your answer to my question is yes.
Yes.
No, same question.
No. I said no. Here's the reason why. Let's just face it. All four teams that made it to the Final Four basically had a guy from either recruiting. Well, Duke had it from recruiting. Florida had a mix of recruiting and transferring. Auburn mix of transferring. And Houston has some recruiting. So now, because of people doing transfer portals, it's hard to be a number one. It's hard to get number one to come to the number one seed to be back in the Final Four. Especially now that recruiting is going to be all time high, and some of the recruiting draft class is coming. So Houston got stack coming. Duke got still stack coming. Florida now the reigning national defending champions. That's cool. But will there ever be a four number one season in the Final Four? No, it will be not. There'll be somebody in there. Be somebody in there different.
Here's my argument to that, right? Here's my argument, and y'all hear me out. NIL is being very, very popular now in the college world now. In football and evidently in basketball too. And the more these high profile superstars coming into the college league, they're gonna go to more of the big schools than the little schools because the big schools is the one that got the money. Exactly.
The NIL.
The NIL, they're gonna have teams like Florida, Duke, North Carolina, teams like that gonna have money in their pocket to where they can get high character people. Go ahead.
Just like you said about the money, the NIL. How you think Cooper Flag wants to do in the NIL? I would have took that damn thing too. Excuse my French. That's why he went to Duke, because Duke was willing to give him bread. You got a guy coming from Maine. And Maine is only known for lobsters. And you got a guy coming all the way from the top down south to play. Oh yeah, they pay that man. They paying that man real good. NIL was taking care of him.
And that's my point. a lot of people go see the NIL, and they're seeing a lot of these kids gain like $5, $6 million on top of a scholarship to come play for them. So a lot of these big schools is going to go to a lot of these high profile character players is going to go to these big schools. And what I think
I
that
agree.
you're going to get, in which I think you're going to get a lot of big name or going to these big schools, in which now it ain't going to be much of a surprise when you get to March Madness, because all the big schools got the big character
Yeah.
players that gonna be 1 and 2 seeds.
I agree.
So no, I agree with you a little bit with the recruiting. Of course, recruiting will always play a factor, but right now with this economy, money is ruling everything right now, my boy.
Oh no, there's no doubt about that part. But I think about it, if you do get transfer portals from one school to another school, now you ask yourself this question: how can you mesh with each other? That's that thing. And if you decided to stay that same school, they're gonna take it another year or two. Like the person I'm not gonna name who resides in Arizona. Me and Rob know who that name is. It took him a couple years to mesh with that team.
Rob, good evening. Welcome to the podcast, sir. How are you, sir?
Not too bad. Just getting off.
Good. So my question and argument, we started off with college, and I said that for the first time since 2008, we have had 4 number 1 seeds in the college football in March Madness. I went ahead, gave the whole storyline from the Final Four to the very end. Florida is on top. Now, my question to you, I asked the guy the same question. I'll give you the same question. Do you think we're going to start seeing more chalk in March Madness?
Chalk as in what? What these teams just
Number
being
one,
what dominance?
as a number 1 seed making it to the Final Four.
Depending on who was the teams, because I was listening to like near the tail end, and I was hearing that when it comes to like transfer portals and NILs, that's what we're gonna really look at it. And it was just funny because I just saw it on Bleacher Report when it comes to the most valuable college basketball teams. Duke and North Carolina is ranked 1 and 2, so that's already money right there. And I mean, with the prestige of what both the schools have and what they have become, most of these kids are looking at to either go to North Carolina or Duke, or it could be starting in a trend like what we did before, as in whatever team won that year, that's where everybody's going. And it looks like it could be Florida, because if you look at Florida, again, like if you're looking at money wise, it's no state taxes. So you don't really have to really worry about it when it comes to NIL money, when it comes to places like Florida, Florida State, or stuff, places like that. So it could be a trend. It's just like I said, it just depends on who's the number 1 at that particular time. And like I said, and when it comes to the tournament is who's on a hot streak. It's literally is a crapshoot. So if you're on a hot road like Arkansas was, like they were dead to waters at first and they went on a hot streak, you could be like them, or you could be like Florida, who's been in battle tested all year long in their conference, and then when they get to the big dance, they know how to control it because they've been through situations like this all year long, especially in their conference. So, like I said, it could swing either way right now. Like you said, it's all where the money is, and whoever has the bigger NIL bag is whoever's going to control basketball. So right now, it could be Florida, it could be BYU with getting the number 1 recruit this past season coming up. Remember, he turned down North Carolina, Duke, Kentucky, all these top schools to be back at home for $7 million. So it just depends on where you're going. Depends on who has the bigger bag.
Now, Rob, I just said that before you came on here.
Yeah, just depends on who got the bigger bag. At the bigger bag, like you said, like Alabama, we not gonna like when it comes to football. At the time when Saban was running things, Alabama had the bigger bag. And when the bigger bag becomes bigger players, and with bigger players comes better prospects, and with better prospects come
More
championships.
money.
Yep, more money and more championships, and more money goes into the school, and it can bring in more players.
Absolutely.
So again, it just depends on how the trend is. If you can follow the trend and keep it up, you can win.
Yeah, that part.
I agree with you on that too, right? But this is what I was saying. Being that there's a lot of high profile players, right, going to these big name schools, most of them. Like this past season, we had Cooper Flag, a lot of these other players, they all made it to the Final Four. And a majority of them all made it by NIL or transfer portal. So I'm feeling that more here on forward, we ain't gonna get too many Cinderella teams like that no more.
Oh no, the Cinderella teams are done for because they're in. See, the thing is, when it comes to the Cinderellas than it is with the bigger teams, the Cinderellas got to do more work because of the fact that they don't have that much NIL money. And if they even make it to a stage like this, like for example, look at all the kids from McNeese State. The second they made that one game, all it took was one game for them to win. Half the team is gone. Coach gone, manager gone, players are gone. Half the school is gone. McNeese State is not going to be in the tournament probably for another 10 to 15 years. Like Drex,
they conference for the team that McNeese State has. If they still stay together, I'm going to say different. I'm going to say.
You might get them in a conference, but I'm saying like this team won 30 games last year.
Right.
They're not going to win 30 games next year.
No, maybe not.
They may win like 20. They may like 22 or 23. They'll make it in, but they're going to be one and done. They're going to be out of here.
I can't say that. I can't say that. There's teams, one thing like we said, it's all about with some of the players, it's gonna be all about the purse, the NIL purse. But let me tell you something. It don't matter how much money you give a person. It's all about heart and determination. Who wants it more when you get on that court? Because you got somebody you got a college player you paying $7 million to, but you got another college player you paying $3.5 million to, half of that, and that 3.5 might play harder than that $7 million. You got some college players. They take the bread for their family, keeping it real. Of course for themselves. Of course for themselves as well too. But I'm going to say that the top prestige college basketball schools, Duke, UNC, Florida, St. John's, et cetera. They got the bread. They got the bread to get any player they because the prestige of the university. You know what I'm saying? But you got them small little colleges that people don't give acknowledgement to that should be in the top 25. When they get in that tournament, they be showing people that they could beat top 25 schools.
I agree with that. My only issue is with that is like I agree with you on that part, and then also it could also flip the other way, like Rutgers. Rutgers had two of the top kids in the country, and they didn't even make the tournament. So it could go that way as well. Like you said, it's all up to. Like I said, I said this in the beginning of the season. I said this during the tournament, and I said this while all this is going on. It's all about chemistry.
Sorry. Oh,
it's all about the chemistry. It's all about chemistry from day one.
It's all about the chemistry and the connection. And the connection.
Gentlemen, I'm gonna tell you this. Here's how I'm gonna roll. People that NIL money is fun and deadly. And I support the NIL. Because you gotta think about it. There's if you basically get in, it's hard to get in the NBA. Let's face it. You know that, Rob. It's hard to get in the NBA. Very hard.
Absolutely.
That's why some of the guys are stacking with NIL money, and that's cool. and everything like that. Because you got to think about it. When you get into the next level of the NBA, if you get in the NBA, you get drafted in the NBA. NBA is like 2 rounds, and that's it. It's not like the NFL. It's not like the NHL. And it's not like MLB, where it's got 7 rounds, and you got a bigger shot. NBA is basically 2 rounds, which means you are a slim chance to get into to the league. And that's why some of the guys here that are taking bigger NIL money for a reason. Just in case, if I got my degree in scholarship, I'm cool with that. But if I don't get in the NBA or or at least get in the G League, I'm okay.
Right. So you still got a backup plan.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You got a backup plan.
You got some guys, you got some guys we could go there too. You got some guys who are NBA legends who didn't never get drafted in the NBA. They was doing overseas and they got picked up as a walk-on to be on the team. And when they finally got on the team, they legends now.
Yep.
So it happens. It happens. It's all about favor, and it's all about if it's your time or not.
Yeah, but the only difference is between that era and now this era is they did not have the NIL compared to NIL today. That's the reason why they had no backup plan.
Gentlemen, before I move on to the women, I will just put it like this in a bow. We are living now in a capitalism country.
Amen.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, listen, y'all. Now, I'm here.
I know you're about to go, cause I know you want to go to work. So you enjoy your day at work, okay, brother?
All right, I'm gonna holler at y'all. Y'all stay up. Love y'all.
Yes, sir. All right. Okay. Let's move on to the ladies. Let's move on to the ladies. We had, well, let's just put it this way. Gino Auriemma is now a 12-time national champion. Can we hold that? Can I just rewind and say that again for one more time?
Along with this,
Gino Auriemma is a 12-time national champion. Turn that thing off. We don't need to hear that. Gino Auriemma is a 12-time national champion. I will start off with this first question. Pat Summit, Gino, who you taking?
I've always took Gino. I've always loved Gino more than Pat. Pat was more of like my father's era because that was like more into into the days when it was Shamika Holdsclaw, and I got to know Pat with the Candace Parker in those eras, but Gino is like John Wood. Gino just finds either diamonds in the roughs, #1 stars, and make them into champions. Like, I was kind of worried to see how Paige was going to go because the last time I saw her on this stage getting this close was in the Final Four during the pandemic and fell short. Now I get it. She had injuries and all that came through, but she finally pushed through and she finally got the one thing that was missing out of her arsenal. Now she's mentioned in one of the UConn greats, just like Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird, my favorite Maya Moore. The list can go on and on. I mean, there's so many of them. Yeah, so all of them. But Gino. I hate to say this. Gino is not only the GOAT of female basketball, he's the GOAT of all college basketball right now. There's nobody right now that has had his resume outside of probably John Wooden that can go head to head with Gino, no matter what happens.
No more same question. Is he the GOAT?
The answer is yes. He is the GOAT. Even though Pat Summitt had 8 championships, championships tournament winners. Gino got 12. There's no numbers. The numbers never lie. It's that simple. You can talk about the greats with Tennessee, with the whole Caldwell and everybody else, but what Gino doing that, Gino I think is in his 70s right now, I believe.
71.
71. What Gino is doing right now is basically, I'm just letting you know right now. He turned 71 a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Mr. I gotta call him by his name. Luigi Amarema. That's his name. There's no question about it. There's no thing about it. I say Gino got another 5-6 more years under his belt, maybe 7, give or take, before he passed the torch. Who he going to pass the torch to? Mostly going to be Don Stanley. That's going to be the torch passer.
Even though he did whoop her ass, terribly.
No. Spears and Fudd whooped that ass.
It don't matter. He beat her twice.
He beat her twice.
He destroyed her twice.
Right.
One in the building, one in the neutral.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing is with Don Stanley, and I know Don Stanley had a young, inexperienced roster. But
that's all it was.
But guess what? For that roster to get to the finals, you can't knock her down.
Give her credit.
Oh no, I'm giving Don Stanley credit. But I bet you next year she'll be back.
Oh, she's already reloaded. She got the number 1 transfer coming out. She got the girl from Florida State, the number 1 scorer in the country, going to South Carolina. We already got that covered.
Here.
You see how she was frustrated on the sideline Sunday? You won't see that again. Oh no.
And this time, if she faces Connecticut, it's going to be very personal. No disrespect to Gino.
Lone Wolf, I can guarantee you she's already got them on the schedule for the regular season next year.
Oh yeah. No disrespect to Gino, and I know Gino and Don are tight. They're from the same neighborhood. But yeah. But when you beat me, when you beat me by nearly 30 points twice in 1 year, I got a problem with that. And I'm coming to collect. And next year, I'm coming to collect my debt.
Oh, you know she is. Oh, see, the beauty about Dawn, Philly people don't like taking losing lightly.
No.
Let alone if you do it twice and like you said, and lose by 30 both times. Dawn's gonna come back a lot. See, look, this is why Dawn called her group this past year Dawn's Daycare, because that's what it was. It was a daycare center. It was nothing but kids. And the crazy is, if it wasn't for her, they would probably never made it out of the second round. Which that's why we got to give Dawn so much credit, because without her knowledge and her teaching, they wouldn't have made it that far. But at the end of the day, it's all about the talent. And Paige and Flood just said, we're not losing today.
Nah. And to be honest with you, Rob, if it wasn't for a teacher, really, they would have made out of Sweet 16 because Maryland had them on the ropes.
Oh, I had it further than that. They would have made it out the second round.
No, yeah.
They would have made it out round 2 because they were struggling in round 2.
Right. And the thing is with this, and let's face it, that game, South Carolina had no answer for Flood and Spears. Basically, Paige was sitting there and having a free ride. And rightfully so.
Even though she did have 17 points.
Yeah, but
it was the quietest 17 she's ever had.
It was the quietest 17 points because, like you said, Ashley Ford was whooping that ass.
By herself.
And taking names.
You talking about the other girls. I talking about Ashley Ford. She's the one that did the damage.
Oh
But
no.
this is the crazy part about it. Fudd did the same damage at South Carolina. So
Oh
it
yeah.
was literally just a repeat.
Yeah, Fudd did.
Yep.
Fudd did the
He
same
just ain't had an
thing.
answer. He just ain't had an answer for her.
No, Fudd did the same thing in South Carolina. You're absolutely right. But in the national championship, she had a tag team partner with her.
Well,
And
see, you can't see the thing where everybody understand with Gino, and here's my answer. My answer is there ain't no question. I had him and Summit. I had him over Summit years ago. Him going to Final Four.
Yeah.
Him going to Final Fours umpteen million times and manage now to become a 12-time national champion. And not to mention, here's the most interesting part that everybody online needs to understand. Do you know that Gino has won a national championship in 4 different decades?
Yep.
Yep.
4.
Yep.
4
And
decades.
and the
4
crazy is,
different eras.
and the crazy is, his best ones is in the 2010s. Because to be honest with you, and I've said this from the jump, I've said this when he had her. Breonna Stewart has been the best thing he's ever had. Stewie's been the best one.
I agree to that, my boy. But I cannot. Okay. Yeah. You know what? You're right, because she did won 4 national championships. Yes.
And out of her entire career there, she's only lost 2 games.
Hey, she among Rushmore. But I'm not going to go ahead and go give her the mantle yet when I have a Diana Taurasi that retired with a stupid, ridiculous resume.
Yep. Now.
Oh no, I'm just talking about UConn.
Okay.
Strictly UConn.
Otherwise, yes.
She's the best UConn player to ever walk through that door.
Yes, I agree to that. Now here's my thing with Gino with this 4.
Now, yes, Stewie got a long way. Stewie has a long way to go, but to win two WNBA championships with 2 different franchises, and you were the reason why they won both of them. It's pretty good.
She won a few gold medals too, so I can't discredit her for her resume right now. But this is what I was saying about Gino before I let Lone Wolf go. I know you got something to say. Gino doing this in 4 different eras, right? Y'all gotta remember, 4 different eras. He changed 4 different times, especially now in the 2000s with the NIL. That is ridiculous feat for a coach to do.
It's insane.
Like, think about this in football terms. Bill Belichick managed to win a championship in like 3-4 different eras. Gino.
Yeah, because he did. He won in the 80s, won in the 2000s, the 10s, and the 20s.
Like, you got to put Gino, to me, I got to put him in the Mount Rushmore coaches. I got to put him.
That's non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable.
That's not even a discussion anymore. It wasn't even. Look, he was on the Mount Rushmore when he won 4 in a row with Stewie. That was non-negotiable. This just puts him right next to
12? Like, come on, though. Like,
yeah. Well, look. And the bad part about the 12, 4 of the 12s are undefeated seasons.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing more to discuss.
And he won this one here, and he wasn't even a 1 seed.
That just made it even sweeter.
They were a 2 seed.
It made it sweeter. I just hope my only thing for next year, to see, he's beaten all the giants, but there's one giant he hasn't touched yet in the national title game. And if she gets to that point, if she comes back next year, 100% ready to go, please, basketball guys, let's get UConn and USA in the national championship. Let's settle this once and for all.
I know, but you see, we wanted to see Paige versus Jew. That was going to
I know, but trust and believe me, Ali. If there's one thing about Gino, always finds.
He's gonna find a diamond. He's gonna find a
I guarantee you, he's got somebody waiting right there on the bench,
He's waiting
ready
for a
to go.
star. He got a star coming. I know.
He's always
Yeah.
got a star. So
Now,
I just want the matchup one time. I don't want it in the regular season. Give it to me where it matters.
As far as the matchup between Paige and Juju, the only way how you gonna get that saga is in the WNBA because Paige is on the way to WNBA anyway. That's one thing.
Oh, we know that.
forward to it.
Looking forward to it. And by the way, Strong and Fudd, they'll be back.
And that's why I want the matchup because they're going to be back.
Yeah.
He ain't losing much.
Not Paige. Now,
That Page, but guess what? When you got those two girls coming back,
you can plug in another guard. Ain't nothing.
Exactly.
Now, let's move on to the association real quick because we got one last week going on here. And Rob, we got some mayhem going on in the West Side. So, before we even get to all the real, before we get all into the hoopla, let us all discuss an elephant in the room that happened today. Denver, what? I understand Denver. Actually, no. I'll take that back. I don't understand why.
I was going to say, I don't understand.
I'm sorry, Rob. Don't worry. I have to correct myself. I got it. Why in the world, right? You won't go ahead and give a pink slip to a coach that 2 years ago won you a championship. And even though the GM and the coach don't get along, y'all managed to win a championship. And with 1 week before the end of the regular season, y'all basically told the Memphis Grizzlies, you know what? You got a full house. I'm going to up you with my royal flush. And you have the audacity and the ridiculousness to go fire Coach Malone. When your kids was having a great run, busting 30-point triple doubles and 30, 40, 50 points, 50 over double, and people, they were managing to stay the course. Yes, I understand they are 4 seed and they could be an 8 seed in mathematical terms. I understand all of that mathematical shit. But with 1 week left before the postseason, you go fire the one coach that deliver y'all a championship. Rob, why? Why?
Antonio, please take this first. Take this first. I'm still perplexed on this. Please take that first.
Look here. Mike Malone is a great coach. You know what his record was through let's go track the record on Mike Malone. When he first got hired as head coach, he got hired in 2015. He was 49, missed the playoffs. 40-42, missed the playoffs. 46-36, that was best one, missed the playoffs. 54-28, made the playoff, lost in the semifinals. 46-27, made the playoff, lost to the conference finals. 47-25, made the playoffs, lost in the semifinals. 48-34, made the playoffs, lost in the first round. 53-29, that was the year that he won the NBA championship. 57-25, lost in the semifinals to Minnesota. And he has a record of 47-32. So this coach is not a bad coach at all, especially when you give him players like Jokic, Murray, and everything else. The problem I got with this situation is this. Why did you give him no bench help? It wasn't Mike Malone's fault. Yeah, sure. Him and the GM been clashing. Mike Malone been on the job for over 10 years, got to a playoffs on 6 occasions and won you a championship. And you decided to say, you know what? You told Memphis, say, you know what? Anything you can do, I can do better. The difference is between you and Memphis, you got rid of the general manager. That's the difference. So why is it that you want to get rid of Mike Malone? Let me put it to you. It's an owner ego problem. And you know who started this nonsense? James Dolan started this nonsense. When he fired the GM, when he fired the head coach, and they both made the playoffs. This is where that nonsense began. And as far as Calvin, I never heard this guy, Calvin Booth. Never heard of him. I mean,
he took over from the guy that was the GM for the Raptors right now. He took over his job.
Yeah, and let me see. He been in a second. He only been in what? 1 year roughly as general manager. Who is you, Calvin Booth? Who is you? The only reason why you got an NBA championship is because of Mike Malone and the situation. Sure, you may have to do some trades. But in actuality, in the event, you did not produce and build up that bench to take your team to the next level to win the title. So, as far as I'm concerned, first and foremost, I don't know why you got that general manager position. It's beyond me. I would have got somebody else. You had no experience. Wait a minute, front office career. You started with the Pelicans as a scouter. Then you moved to Minnesota as director player personnel. Then you was assistant general manager for Denver. 2020, that's when you became the manager of the Denver Nuggets. And you won your first championship. So you had like some years in you, and then 2 years later, the owner decided to fire you because the owner got sick and tired of you and Mike Malone bickering and fighting. So in this situation I don't fault the owner on the firing of Mike Malone and Calvin Booth. It's just I fault him because he did it at the wrong time. That's what I fault him at. Do it after the season's over to get rid of both of them if you want to get rid of both of them. But don't do it when you're on the cusp of making the playoff and probably getting a high seed.
That's dead because they ruined all the tiebreakers during their 4-game losing streak.
As in the word of the misfit, not my monkey, not my circus.
Rub on you.
Well, the Lakers are very happy about this.
We are. Very.
They are very happy about this. Now, you have really opened, like, I really thought that, the Luka trade, I said, okay, maybe this could work out. I didn't think it could work out within a year, but now it looks like it can, because now it's really like it could be OKC versus the Lakers. You have really killed the momentum of Denver now. You've destroyed it now. I get it. Denver has not been good defensively. They're one of the worst teams when it comes to defense. But that's on the GM. That's on GM because, like Lone Wolf said, not only you didn't give them no bench help, you didn't even retain the guys that even got you there to begin with. Look at who they lost in the championship run. You lost KCP. You lost a guy that was a perimeter defender and can shoot the three. You lost, and mind you, and this is a bigger piece that nobody really talks about as much. You lost you lost Brown. Bruce Brown. That was one of your the dogs of that team that gave you a lift off the bench, and you thought that bringing in Christian Braun would replace Bruce Brown. No, that's not working out right now. Granted, Christian Braun, he's a good player, but he's not Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown can come in and play literally all four positions, and then still give you 10 to 15 points a night. Braun can't do that just yet. He's still wet behind the ears. This is where their biggest problem is. This were two guys bickering. I can't believe I'm going to say this. They were bickering over Russell Westbrook's minutes. Mike Malone wanted Westbrook to get more minutes, but the GM wanted one of the younger guys, I think his name was Wyatt, to get more minutes. Yeah, it was Wyatt. The GM wanted Wyatt more minutes, but Malone understood why Westbrook needed more minutes because that was the guy, one, they brought in. Two, they needed more for playoff experiences. And that's what Russ comes in at, and he gives you that. And see, Westbrook gives you what Bruce Brown could do. He gives you that rebound, assist, take a charge, give you extra minutes while Jamal Murray is down. And mind you, if there's anybody right now, probably outside of Nikola Jokic, that if I could give really a lot of credit to their season, it's Westbrook. Westbrook has came in. Now, granted, he started out a little slow because, again, it's a new area. He had to learn how to play with Nikola and Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murray, figure out how to get into the rotation. But once he figured it out, that team went from being 6th to 2nd when Russ got into the swing of things. And when Russ was averaging, remember Ali at one time when both of them had triple doubles. I mean, when have you ever seen? We've never seen two players at the exact same time get a triple double in the same game. It's never happened before. We did it this year with Nikola and Westbrook. I thought them two was doing well because I thought now you gave Nikola a guy that could run downhill pick and roll, and if Nikola getting double teamed, Westbrook can get easy buckets, and then now you got a problem with Russ keep going downhill, and now you're going to give Nikola easy buckets, or you free up everybody else. It was working. I don't understand why the GM and the head coach was bickering over Westbrook. When the bigger thing is the coach needs to focus more on the defense side of the ball because he doesn't have the same perimeter players like he did in 2020 or even 2021 or 2023 when they won. They've lost that when they won the championship because these guys got more money. Bruce Brown got more money in Toronto. KCP got more money going to Orlando. You lost two key perimeter defenders. You can't bounce back with it with Christian Braun. Braun is not that perimeter player right now. He's more of a slasher that's trying to play defense. And he don't really play defense that well. So, yeah, Nikola's got to pick up more of the slack. And he has. I mean, when have we ever seen a player that's almost top 5 in every statistical category except for blocks? The man is top 5 in points, rebounds, assists, steals. If you're talking about a workhorse, that is a workhorse. Nikola has been more of a workhorse than almost anybody in the league right now. And that's even with SGA. Even SGA can't even say at one point he's top 5 in points, rebounds, assists, and steals. And Nikola can say that. And for a guy that's doing that with the turmoil that what this team is going through right now, it's impressive. It's even more impressive to his MVP status. Now that we're seeing this going on, I mean, granted, I still give it to SGA no matter what happens. But I'm just saying, this. If you have a case for it, that's a bigger case on Nicola side than it is SGA's, because SGA's has got more chemistry and they've been with each other and you don't see no turmoil. But now we got this going on with Denver. Now, to be honest with you, I don't even know who you could bring on this roster now, like next year, and see what's going on. Because once you do that, once you fire the head coach and the GM, next is the team. Team is going to go awry. Team's about to break. This Denver team is about to break up. Aaron Gore is about to go somewhere else. The only people that's really going to be staying there because of their contract wise is Nicola and Jamal Murray. Those are really the only two because they have they sign long-term deals. And maybe Michael Porter Jr. That might be your only three that can make it. But everybody else is for sale. That's what it's going to look like. And whoever the next head coach or GM come into, I guarantee you, they're going to want their own guys and they're going to want how to figure it out. And it's not going to be pretty for them because at one point, if it does get bad next year, Nicola might be asking for a trade. And then the team is really done.
Yeah, that's my thing on this, boy. Man, yeah, Rob. Have you ever heard that song by Have you ever heard that song? Make Up the Breakers by Method Man?
Yes, Lord.
That's what it sounds. That's what it feels like with Denver.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, y'all got rid of wrong pieces that y'all shouldn't have got rid of. Like y'all broke up with Bruce Brown, and that was huge. He was huge to y'all title run, and y'all just let that go like it was yesterday's trash. And brought in Westbrook thinking that it was gonna do what Bruce Brown does, and the problem was Bruce Brown was more consistent. Russell Westbrook, he's good, but he still had turnover problems. And now you have Jamal Murray who have a bad ankle, right?
Yep, and it's the same ankle he's had issue with for the last 2 years.
Okay, and then he possibly about to come back. Maybe they don't know. So now you're gonna be stuck with Jokic trying to do 35-point triple doubles, which is not gonna be enough because everybody in the playoffs, all they're gonna do is just racket him and have everybody else try to beat them, and I can see a first round exit if not the play-in goodbye.
But
Denver, before we continue going to this the rest of the West, I think you and Memphis gonna be on their way out real soon. But Memphis might have something to say because Memphis been showing some fight. But with 1 week left in the West, y'all, I gonna have a question I wanna throw. I need your most dangerous team.
The Rockets.
Explain.
I've liked them. Y'all know I've been very high on the Rockets all year long. I believe now this is what's scaring me about the Rockets. Now Jalen Green is playing defense. That was the last missing piece to Jalen Green's body of work. We know Jalen Green can score the ball. We know he could average 25 to 30 points whenever he wants to. But him playing defense on the type of level that Ime wants him to play defense, that's the last piece to unlock Jalen Green being a superstar. He's a star right now. But to get to that next level to being a superstar, like how Ant had to make that jump, I think this is Jalen Green's jump right now. You've been on the team for 4 years. You've understood how you've had Ime for 2 years. You know how his system works. I think now, especially now getting Steven Adams, you're adding him. You got Jabari Smith. You got Tyrod Eason. All these young guys are falling into Ime's role. Amin Topping has been a spark plug that no one ever thought that he would be. And of course, you always have the wild card with Dylan Brooks. You never know what you're going to get out of him. But guess what? You can't deny the fact that the man is a perimeter defender that's a pest, and you need that in the playoffs. Plus, we got a Fred VanVleet who we haven't really unleashed him yet, because guess what? I got Jalen Green and I got Alfred Sagoon. I've been using them two left and right, and they're still holding on to second place spot. I don't want to go to Houston the first round. If I'm playing any of these teams, I don't want to deal with Houston the first round. Because Ime is going to have this team locked and ready to go. And whoever gets them first round, you better bring your hard hat, because going to Houston will not be fun. And especially now that you're going to have them as a home field advantage for the first time since they had James Harden and Chris Paul. OKC is the given, but I like Houston.
Lone Wolf.
Detroit Pistons. Oh,
No, in the West.
I'm sorry.
Stick to the West.
West.
Stick to the West.
Give me the Timberwolves.
That's a good one.
They're coming alive. They're coming alive.
With the exception
of
Ant-Man, Ant-Man gonna need to be Ant-Man gonna be banging 30 points come postseason. With Rudy Gobert,
which we know he will.
With Rudy Gobert now starting to pick up some offense a little bit. He throws some offense a little bit as well. That's what the fans and the Timberwolves are waiting for him. They're waiting for Rudy Gobert to pop offense. We know you get rebounds. We know you can play defense. But when you gonna put some buckets to relieve a little bit of pressure off of Julius Randle, to relieve the pressure off of Nazem Reed? We're gonna do all that. They're coming alive at the right time. And right now, last time I checked, if I remember correctly, they're on a 5-game win streak. So right now, they're on the cusp of chasing the Clippers or the Warriors for those 2 spots. Maybe Denver. This is a Minnesota Timberwolves team now that I was on them, and Rob, and you know that, Rob. You know that, Chef. I was on them. I known as the House of Disappointment. And now, I can't say that now. They're not the House of Disappointment. So give me the Timberwolves to be the most dangerous team in the West.
There's a team out there that there's a guy that if he can stay healthy, I don't think too many teams want them. Clippers.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
one thing that a lot of people have noticed, Kawhi Leonard is on a back-to-back, and he's playing them. That's huge, because you don't play back-to-back.
It is.
You don't play back-to-back.
You sure don't.
And if we're going to get this version of Kawhi Leonard, and James Harden has, and I've been one of the biggest advocates on James Harden, because I don't like every time he comes to the postseason, he wants to choke. But I will say this year, he has played very well.
Choke like peanut butter.
Now, the question is, can you take that very well production that you did this season and take that and do the same thing or a little bit more in the playoffs? Or you go once again for like a T10? Kawhi Leonard, same thing with you. You're playing great since you came back from your injury. Now in the postseason, in years past, you falling like a cheap tent. Don't play in the playoffs. Now all of a sudden you're playing like this, and it's postseason a week away. Now, if we get good Kawhi Leonard, with may I say, a very argument for the most improved player in big back Zubac.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, hey.
If you're gonna get that kind of production from 3 guys, or should I say 4, because Norman Powell just came back. If you're gonna get that kind of production with them 4 guys, with a healthy Kawhi Leonard,
And the crazy thing is, Ali, if the rankings, if the standings stay exactly where they're at, they get Denver first round. Big problem.
if they get Denver,
That will be a big problem for Denver, especially coaching wise. Because if I gotta trust a guy that is a backup more than I would more against Tyronn Lue, I will take Tyronn Lue any day of the week, twice on Sundays.
okay. David, I know you just came back in, and I know you can't be in for too long. So, your most dangerous team in the West.
Minnesota Timberwolves.
Your most dangerous team in the West. Oh, you agree with Lone Wolf? Wow, that's rare.
Yeah.
You got the Wolves too.
That's the only thing. That's the only team that I see that would give any of them top 3 or 4 player the top 3 or 4, the 1 through 4 a problem. They could beat OKC. We already seen that. They could beat the Lakers. We seen that. They could beat they tough. Minnesota.
Okay.
If they stay healthy, Julius, the key to that is Julius Randle, Jaden McDaniels, and Rudy Gobert staying healthy.
Now I'll let you pick.
Don't forget DiVincenzo. Don't forget DiVincenzo.
But Julius Randle and Jaden McDaniels, they do besides Gobert. Gobert does the rebounding and the defense. But Randle and McDaniels, they do all the dirty work. If you have been watching the games lately, they the ones that do the PRAs.
Oh no, we're not disagreeing with the dirty work. I'm just saying because you gotta remember the one thing that Minnesota's missing is threes, and if there's one spark plug that can get them going, it's DiVincenzo.
That's their sharpshooter. Let's flip into the East. Is there a team in the East can't get right that could give Cleveland or Boston a rattle?
Detroit.
Get out of my head.
Detroit is the only on the bottom. I call it the bottom brown, the 6, 7, 8. Out of them teams, if you want to go with a physical team that would give them a problem, it would be Detroit. If you want to go with a finesse team that might give them a problem, I'll say Indiana.
Lone Wolf, what you got?
I told that little can't get right. Get out of my head. I did say Detroit. And here's why. Well, can't get right saying that. We'll one up on you. They're the most hungriest team, physical team on the block. They have not sniffed playoffs in a long, long time.
No, they haven't.
And if the season would end it today, they'll get New York Knicks. And I don't think New York Knicks will want no parts of that.
Wait. Who will get the Knicks? Detroit?
Yeah. And New York Knicks don't want no parts of that.
The Knicks would beat them. The way the Knicks been playing lately, the Knicks would beat them. The Knicks is on the winning. The Knicks has been on the winning streak, and OG and Wanobi and Josh and Wanobi, Mikal Bridges, they've been stepping up, and they would be the X factors for the Knicks because Towns, Bronson, even though he's still a little injured, I don't care what nobody says, he's still a little injured through the ankle situation, and Josh Hart, they playing okay, but when you got OG on and Mikal Bridges, they're a problem. And Mitchell Robinson is back, so that's definitely a problem.
Lone Wolf. You agree with him?
But Detroit, New York beating Detroit?
No, Detroit being your most dangerous team in the East.
Yeah, it'll be Detroit.
Mhm.
Oh, Rob?
Now, why y'all want to get on my Detroit bandwagon right now?
Well, you know what? I'm not trying to get on no damn bandwagon. Number one, number
Why,
two,
why,
number
y'all,
two. Detroit.
why y'all want to get on my
Detroit has been the
Detroit
only team.
bandwagon?
Detroit has been the only team. Detroit is the only team that been getting into fights this season, and now they trying to get the bad boy image back again. They need to
No,
stop. I mean, like they really need to stop.
David, the reason why I said why y'all want to get on my Detroit bandwagon team, because guess what? There's only been one person ever since the beginning of the season that said that Detroit is going to be that team.
No, I gave you credit for that one. I didn't give you credit.
No, I was like, why y'all want to come now? I don't need y'all right now. Y'all can stay over there.
I
I
didn't.
don't
You
need
know
the
why?
Detroit
You know what? I didn't
bandwagons.
think. Truth of the matter. I didn't think they was that good. I'm sorry to say that.
Okay. Well, that's why. Look.
But
They showed promise last year.
Well,
mhm.
see,
The point is,
but see,
go
the
ahead,
beauty
Rob,
of it is, see, that's what I said. The beauty of it is, see, this is why Cade Cunningham got picked number one over Jalen Green.
Over
Because
who?
every time they play against each other, Jalen Green. Because every time they play against each other, Jalen Green gets his ass whooped by Cade Cunningham.
Jalen Green
Every
is
time.
Jalen Green is 6'3" and K Cunningham is 6'7" and finesse with it.
And that's why, hey, can't teach height and can't teach talent. So guess what? I'll take Cade.
K is more fundamental than him.
Can't help that.
Mhm.
Can't help that cause. Point is, as beautiful as I love hearing the people say Detroit, the issue with Detroit right now. And last night kind of showed me something about Detroit. When they see a team that can score a lot of like they have two guys that can score a lot of points. Last night was a monopoly, but could happen in the playoff type mess. Anybody see Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan both scored 30 apiece?
Yeah.
Nobody expected that, but this is the thing. If you run into a buzzsaw team like that that has two guys that can score like that, like for example, if the Knicks can get themselves going, and if Cat and Jalen Brunson decides they want to score 30 points apiece, they can't stop that. As much as I love Detroit, they can't stop that. All they need is to find all they need to do is find the right team at the wrong time. And mind you, the one thing about the Knicks, they have not beaten a team that's been in the top two on each sides all year long. And they're trying to do that right now against Boston. So if they can pick that momentum up, I don't know. I still think Detroit for me it should be the most dangerous side on the East. But me right now, I don't think nobody wants to deal with Indiana in a 7-game series.
I agree.
And that's what makes them so dangerous. They're so iffy because you don't know what you're going to get out of them. Because they're
just like I said before, they're a finesse
they're a
team.
finesse team. They're a finesse team.
You don't know where it's going to come
because
from.
look,
You don't know where it's going to come
tonight, nobody thought that Pascal Siakam decided he wants to drop 30 points. Nobody, and mind you,
or Tyrese going to drop 22.
Yeah, or Miles Turner want to drop 25. They got like 4 or 5 guys that can drop 20 points apiece if they want to, but they play so togetherness that you don't know which one you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
They're not cohesive all the time, but when it matters the most, they are. And mind you, if I want to pick a team that hasn't been in there since what? Detroit hasn't been in the playoffs since what? 2019, and they haven't won a game in the playoffs since 2009. I want to pick Detroit, and I still do because that's my team. I said that's the most promising team I could have, but I can't sleep on what Indiana does.
Right. Right.
I'll tell you this much.
And I mean, even though we off the West, I meant to mention Sacramento too, because Rob made a
Oh, Lord.
point. When you got a guy dropping 43 and another guy dropping 35 in the game, that's a problem.
Mm, mm,
That's if they could drop 30 points
mm,
each
mm.
in one game, that's a problem.
Yep.
I would say that. I would.
Sacramento got they got a good starting five if you really look at things. I mean, you got Monk, you got Zach, you got Levine, you got DeMar DeRozan, you got Jonas, you got Sabonis back, and you got Jonas.
I would agree to that to a certain degree. That when you get into the postseason, games slow down. So as much as you're saying they could get 20 and 30-point pieces each, it's going to be a hell of a lot harder in the postseason. Now let me move on because
I agree.
I'm pushing for time. Um, Draft. This month is draft football. No, we're not talking about your division, sir, today. So you need to hush.
Boo.
Boo you. We are talking about the AFC and the NFC West. So this is how I'm gonna do it. Because we are pressed for time. I gonna give a team. You tell me what they need to address in the draft. Their main need. Don't give me like 5, 6, 7 different goddamn needs.
Sometimes it be like that because it varies. It depends on
Hey,
the GM.
listen. I have 18 minutes. I need their most important position of need. Now, Lord, where you at? Can I get ready to start with you since you're the only one present right now? Why everybody think? Oh, there you go.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna start out first. I'm gonna go out with the AFC West. Oakland, what they need?
Who?
Oakland, what they need? Or should I say Vegas?
Oh, Vegas. Vegas needed a running back.
Thank you. Whoa.
If they gonna get Genty,
Oh. No Wolf?
they gonna get him.
Quarterback.
Who and what? Quarterback? Who and why?
I would say it's George Sanders, but it's the otherwise. So I would say George Sanders.
Rob?
What I
Vegas?
mean,
Okay. I'm in the AFC West. I'm giving a team. I need you to give them what their most important position of need. And who? So, Rob, I'm starting with Vegas. He said quarterback.
I say Genty.
And get right, said that too.
Right.
They have a
Damn,
quarterback. They gave him.
I'm on a roll.
Look,
I'm on a roll
look, they got a
tonight.
quarterback. They just paid him an extra $69 million. Why am I going to draft a quarterback if I just paid somebody $69 million?
Exactly.
I'm going to get a running back.
If
That's
anything, I know you only said one, Ali, but if they don't get a running back, they're gonna get an edge. They're gonna get an edge. They're gonna work on their defense.
They're going to work on the defense, but the one thing that Pete Carroll is always famous for, he has a running back. And if Genty is out there,
Right.
he's going to get snatched up.
Genty will be.
He'll be
He
a
will
Raider.
be.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Can I make that 3? Because I've been saying that he needs Ashton Genty will be a perfect fit in Las Vegas because Marshawn Lynch was a 3-down back.
Yep.
He wants somebody to be a 3-down back.
Can I ask you a question?
Eh?
I have to ask you a question. I don't mean to cut you off. Chicago, do Chicago pick before Vegas or Vegas pick before
They
Chicago?
pick before Chicago.
Okay, say no more.
Now,
Okay.
Next, Kansas City.
Offensive line.
Offensive line. Left tackle.
Preferably left tackle.
Lone Wolf?
Rob, stop playing.
Offensive line. Guard.
No.
Game.
Left tackle.
That's game. That's game.
Make that 4. But Lone Wolf, I gonna disagree. I know they need a guard, but damn it, that left tackle was some ass last year.
Oh Lord.
What?
Sorry, we're watching the Celtics and Knicks. JT just hit it through the title game.
Oh, nice. Okay, good. Okay.
JT, what?
Hello. Back, move us, please.
Okay.
Hey, what's for time?
That's right.
I agree with you, Lone Wolf, to a certain degree. The guard they do need, but that left tackle that they had last year was some ass.
Yeah.
They need that.
Yeah.
Now, next team. Chargers.
I'm here.
I say running back 2. Because I don't know what they're going to do with J.K. Dobbins or Gus Edwards. They might just get rid of one of the other.
I'm gonna say an edge. I'm gonna say an edge or either offensive lineman.
Offensive line.
Okay.
And
I agree with.
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Offensive line, they need a guard.
Offensive line, I agree. They already got a left tackle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they need a guard. Because how Harbaugh like to run the football, he like to have a strong offensive line. He want to drench that line more. Now, next team, last but not least, what do y'all Orange Crush need?
More offensive line.
Okay.
More protection for Bo.
Lone?
Give me a running back. You know Sean Payton loves that 3-down back.
I think we already have that at Escamé.
No, that's been gone.
That's still then I say running back, but I think for first round we need to keep protecting Bo. Because as much as you know how I feel about it, I've always thought that like when teams like this, you need more protection on top of protection. That's just one thing. The one thing that the Eagles have done, the one thing that Detroit has done. When they down one, they've always found one that can mesh right on in. So give me the offensive tackle first.
I don't know if Can't Get Right is there, but I'll tell you what they do need for me. I think y'all do need to protect both.
You can't be strong like he did last year.
I think y'all need a line protect both. Y'all got good weapons on the outside. Running back, I'm not sure. Y'all might address it, y'all might not, but I think y'all do need to address that line, help Bo out. Let's go to the NFC West. Rob, you first, Seattle.
Everything. Everything. But if I had to pick one particular, they definitely need an offensive lineman because Geno kept getting destroyed every chance he get. So let try and get Sam Darnold some help because he gonna need it.
Lone Wolf.
Offensive line, tackle.
Don't matter which side, just pick a side.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. I agree. I agree to that. They do need an offensive line. Niners.
Everything. Another one. Everything. But if I had to pick one particular, as much as I know they need to go ahead and replace CMC sometime soon, I need somebody to replace Trent Williams. Offensive line.
Get out my head, bro. Get out my head. I was thinking about left tackle too.
Yep.
Offensive lineman, definitely.
Yeah, Trent getting too old, man. They gotta figure it out.
Yep.
If they about to pay about 40, you better protect his ass.
Facts.
How about Arizona?
They're interesting. I get another wide receiver to pair with Marvin Harrison.
Get in the holy hell out my head.
And I have a very good one to compare him with. Go get the wide receiver from Ohio State. His old teammate.
Okay.
Have an Ohio State reunion.
Yeah. Because I guarantee you this much. If they don't get him, Houston will.
And I mean, Houston trying to maximize CJ Stroud before they have him.
Yeah, wide receivers is the everybody. You say wide receivers, well, that's cool. How about defensive tackle for that interior pressure? Now that you got Josh Sweat in town,
I was about to say they picked up somebody. There you go.
Well,
common foul.
Last but not least, the Rams.
I go with another. I get a linebacker.
give me a corner.
Give me another lineman. If you're going to keep Matthew Stafford and want to keep his production for y'all to contend, I think y'all need to protect him. Another lineman is the defense. The defense was like the defense was a French top 10 defense. I think defensively they're fine. But if they could protect Matthew Stafford this year, I think they could do more than just probably give Philly a scare. Now, next week, we did West. Next week, we will be going to the AFC and the NFC East next week because we got about 2-3 weeks away. Oh, can't get right.
My bad, y'all. You
I
already know.
I know can't get right. So we're gonna go real quick while we about to make our way out of here. Arizona,
Okay.
what they need?
Everything.
I mean, he's not wrong.
He's wrong.
No.
I just named my teams that need everything. So go right ahead.
Wait, Arizona. I will go with. Shit. I say I'm gonna say a line, an offensive line. They need to work on their line.
Okay.
I'm gonna say line. You know what? Take it back. A defensive lineman. They need more defense.
Lord, now you're agreeing with Lone Wolf.
They line wasn't too bad last year. James Conner rushed over 1,000 yards, so that's not too bad to have for a running back to run with a line like that. So that line ain't too bad. But I say defense. They need to work on their defense.
I said another receiver, but hey,
Okay.
I did say everything.
Seattle.
everything. That was my everything right there. Everything.
You said who? Wait, who you said? Ali, who you said?
Seattle.
Everything. There's another one.
You know what? I'm gonna keep it a buck. Seattle they need a tight end.
Okay.
That ain't bad because Noah Fant has not been impressing people.
They need a tight end. Sam Darnold. From where I'm about to come from. Sam Darnold. A lot of his passes went, besides to Jordan Addison last year, it went to T.J. Hawkinson. Yes, JJ did get the ball, but during towards the end of the season, Addison, Hawkinson, then JJ. Think about that.
You're right.
He need a tight end.
Okay.
Well. Okay. What the Rams need?
Shit, they wow, the Rams. I'm gonna say secondary. I'm gonna say a safety.
Okay.
I'm gonna say safety. They got a good D line. They could go. I think they're gonna go defense. If they don't go D line, because they got decent linebackers. If they don't go a D line, they're gonna go with secondary. They need to work on their cornerbacks. Or safety.
I got a question for you, dude. Have you been smoking that good?
Nah, I don't smoke no more.
Because everything you just said, I just said.
It's so crazy today.
I hate to say this. Because I hate to say this, but great minds think alike.
I mean, that's the first.
You know what? Somebody take me home, please, because he just tried to push his button just now. Like, you literally.
Wait, is that all the teams that you? Is that all the teams though?
Hold on a second.
Take me home.
We forgot something, dude.
What? Oh, like I said, I told him take me home because I know what I gotta say. So, can somebody take me home?
Oh, go ahead.
Thank you. By the way, don't think I was gonna forget this, but we want to congratulate Obi-Wan Kenobi, aka Alex Ovechkin, for passing the great Wayne Gretzky for the most goals in NHL history with 895 career goals. Shout out to Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
You're definitely Mount Rushmore hockey to me. So,
I see. Unfortunately, I love that music, but we gotta give him this music.
Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, Jaromir Jagr, Steve Eisenman, Mark Messier.
And you know what? We're gonna leave off of that. We're gonna leave off of that. So until next week, we're gonna have bands to make them dance like Obi-Wan Kenobi. We can't get right, Lone Wolf, Rob, and myself, yours truly. Take care of each other.